You may have heard that it's going to be hot for 49ers Cardinals tomorrow. So I took the L train out to the largest air conditioner in the world, the Pacific Ocean. All the way to the end of the line, Ocean Beach, San Francisco. The L train, by the way, reopened after 5 years and way too much money. Amazing food along the way. I had to stop at Rolling Out Cafe. That's one thing that the 49ers do not want to let Kyler Murray do tomorrow. Roll out. Keep him in the pocket. Kyler Murray this year has played within structure more for Arizona, but as games have progressed and defenses have acclimated to what the Cardinals are doing, his efficiency has worsened from the pocket. In fact, over the first 15 plays of games, Kyler Murray is completing 82% of his passes. But after that, he's completing only about 61% of his passes. So the key for the 49ers is going to be to keep Kyler Murray in the pocket tomorrow. And if they do so, and Nick Sorensen makes the right defensive adjustments, this is the next big test for that 49ers defense, well, they're going to be okay. Up on the San Francisco Standard right now have the full statistics of the defense over the first month of the season. They're number 10 in EPA per play. They were number 24 before the Patriots game, so still obviously a lot of variability in that facet of the game. They improved to number 10 facing a team that couldn't really throw downfield. The Cardinals, well, we know that they can pass. How effectively remains to be seen. They have put up a ton of points in one game against the Rams. They went 40 plus against the bad Rams defense. They did okay in the season opener against the Buffalo Bills, but the past 2 weeks have not been as pretty for the Arizona Cardinals, especially the game last week against the Washington Commanders, who field perhaps the worst defense in the league, at least statistically right now it is. Only 14 points for Kyler Murray and company. 13 points the week before in a loss to the Detroit Lions. But I think it's most important to talk about Brock Purdy because he has absolutely owned the Arizona Cardinals over the course of his career. Last season, Brock Purdy, right around this time of the year, warm game at Levi Stadium, Brock Purdy completed 20 of 21 passes, which was a 49ers franchise record for a single game. Then, when he faced Arizona down in Glendale later in the year, the 49ers put up over 40 points. Budda Baker is the star on this Arizona's defense, and he's one of the few stars on this Arizona defense. They rank number 30 in EPA per play. So, as long as the 49ers can neutralize Budda Baker, work away from him, put him into compromised positions, they should be able to move the ball. Arizona's in the low 20s in both run and pass defense to make up that number 30 overall ranking. And Brock Purdy is playing MVP caliber football this year. He was playing it last year, but I think he's even better here in 2024. But let's go back to the defensive stats. I think this is a test for the 49ers defense first and foremost in this game. They took care of the Patriots to show that they've got a pulse defensively, but now it gets harder, and it gets even harder on Thursday. And the 49ers do have to view this as a two-game set because the Seattle Seahawks are waiting shortly thereafter. But as you can see, the 49ers, they're number 8 in the league in havoc rate, which I think is really important. Teams are going to move the ball regardless of who you are defensively in the NFL these days. The rules are just set up to favor the offense. So the disruptive plays that you make to stymie an offense's momentum, to throw a wrench into the inevitable yardage efficiency that offenses are going to be able to attain, those havoc plays are going to be so important. So this is forced fumbles, takeaways, obviously interceptions, sacks, stuff like that. 49ers ranked number 8. Now, it's not as good as it had been over the course of the past 2 years. 49ers actually led the NFL over 2022 and 2023 with 42 interceptions. They only have 3 so far this year. I think the safety play has dropped off a little bit. Deshaun Gibson Sr., he shouldn't be underestimated, the impact that he had for this football team. So they're working in some new safeties right now. As you can see through some of these pass coverage charts, the safety play has not been good as far as passer rating allowed, and the yards per cover snap allowed in the column just to the left of that, that's higher than it was last year for Talanoa Hufanga, Jair Brown, and Deshaun Gibson. So Brown is going to have to find his stride. Hufanga is back now, and they're going to be working in Malik Mustafa into the mix. he was good last week, had only really that one bad play, the missed tackle on Ramondre Stevenson. So I think that's really going to help the 49ers up the safety play. That's a huge part of picking up the slack when it comes to getting this pass defense back to where it was before. Then you take a look at the linebacker position coverage-wise. Well, Fred Warner, look how good he is. 17.6 passer rating allowed into his coverage. You are watching a future Hall of Famer. I think it's going to be key for Fred Warner to spy Kyler Murray tomorrow. Talk about rolling out. Don't want to let Kyler Murray roll out, or at least you don't want to let him be efficient rolling out. Well, that's Fred Warner's job to take care of. Rolling out, by the way, that was the name of the place. On the El Taraval line, brand new, reopened, the train to the ocean. While I stopped at rolling out, Bruno owns this place. He's been here for 13 years, bakes everything fresh. He's got some famous bakery items. I decided to go with the breakfast sandwich, and oh my goodness, was it one of the best in the city. I was really happy. I came out to this area of town called the Avenues. More on that in a little bit. First, a little bit more on the breakfast sandwich, which I know this city's got a ton of them. They've got 47 neighborhoods and 49 square miles, fittingly, 49 square miles. Well, within that area, you've got to come out to Rolling Out and try the breakfast sandwich. Now let's look at the pass rush for the 49ers. As you can see, Nick Bosa, the most pressures. I think Leonard Floyd has actually been productive for San Francisco. He is the one who delivered on the Fred Warner pick six. He pressured Jacoby Brissett last week. The question is, where are the 49ers going to find additional pass rushing help? What a promising start for Sam Okawanu. What a good start for Kevin Givens. Javon Hargrave, maybe he'll be back toward the end of the season. But right now, the 49ers have to find that pass rushing productivity from elsewhere. And, quick little San Francisco trivia lesson. I mentioned the 49 square miles in San Francisco. This area, the Sunset District, and you could see it right here behind me as we look in from Ocean Beach. It's called the Avenues. The locals call it the Avenues because it goes from First Avenue all the way to 49th Avenue. Now, 49th Avenue was renamed several decades ago. It's now called La Playa, which means the beach in Spanish. But 49 is everywhere in this city, and it's fitting because we're talking about a 49ers show. All the way out from the inner city to the edges of the beach, you go from the First Avenue to the 49th Avenue, which of course has been renamed. But a cool little nugget. Another cool nugget is that the end of the tracks here on the El Taraval line, these are Belgian stone. This is the original stone of San Francisco trolley tracks. They decided to preserve it way out here near the beach, where it is absolutely perfect right now. About 82 degrees. The rest of the city maybe 95, but again, the largest air conditioner in the world certainly came through this time. They call it the outside lands. It used to all be dunes out here, like sand dunes, like the ones that I'm standing on to do this show. It was developed into the city that reached the beach. Unfortunately, we will not have this kind of climate for 49ers Cardinals tomorrow. Anyway, prediction time. I think the 49ers are going to win this game 35-16.